Hi, I'm Brazilian and I've been following the United States election, and today I saw this post people are retweeting on Twitter, and I wanted to give an important message to liberals in America who are scared about Donald Trump being elected United States president. And as you know, I'm Brazilian, and Brazil is by far the most multicultural and multiracial country in the world, the biggest mixed population in the world. And I saw this, I don't know who is this guy, Tim Wise, but people are retweeting it. The message from Tim Wise: white people, this is the moment of truth. Will we choose multiracial democracy or white nationalism? Brazil is a multiracial democracy. Know this: if you support Donald Trump or would even consider voting for him for president, you have chosen the latter. You are my enemy. I will not seek to coexist with you. I will not make it nice. I will not pretend we believe in the same things, but merely have different opinions about how to get there. You are the enemy, plain and simple. You must be stopped. You must lose, and not just by a little, by a lot. A crushing defeat that leaves no doubt in your mind that the country you prefer is gone and is never coming back. Defriend me now. You do not believe in this sense or justice or democracy, and you are beyond reason. And for all Americans who agree with this man Tim Wise and are really scared about Donald Trump, and I am here to invite you to come to Brazil. Don't lose your hope in freedom, in racial democracy. Brazil is your dream come true. Brazil is the dream come true of all liberal Americans, and we are open to receive you. And Brazil has already in the past received the American migrants after the Civil War. Many people from South don't know how much, but we have cities in Brazil, in the São Paulo state, which were colonized, and cities that were made by Americans from the South that came to here after the Civil War. And the cities of Americana, Nova Odessa, and Santa Barbara that were created by Americans, by South Americans from the Confederate States. But today, with this Donald Trump rising, and if the Republican Party cannot beat and cannot stop Trump, and Hillary Clinton cannot stop Trump, then you can come to Brazil. You don't need to be so afraid to keep living in United States. You can come to Brazil. Here we have all we want to live, all we want in United States, we have here in Brazil. We have public health care, and we have the gun ban here in Brazil for years now. Here in Brazil, the law forbids people to have guns. Of course, there are people who doesn't obey the law, and these people yet have guns, not just handguns, but also shotguns and automatic guns, especially in Rio de Janeiro, on the favelas in Rio de Janeiro, where the drug dealers have automated and shotguns and all kinds of guns, even 50 millimeters guns. They already have bought down even in police helicopter some time ago. Because of that, the police, the Rio de Janeiro police have highway helicopters with I don't remember the word in English, but public health care we have here in Brazil, at least on the paper, at least on the law. In practice, it's a little difficult to have real health care, and because of that, people are on the hospitals, and it's really a bit hard on if to effective this public health care. It's very, very beautiful on the paper, on our laws we have it, but it's not so easy to have in real life. But at least in paper we have it, and the United States doesn't have. So all liberal Americans who are afraid of Donald Trump, we are very welcome, everybody here in Brazil. And just be careful where you go. Rio de Janeiro is a bit dangerous, especially if you are an American used to live in America, where houses doesn't even have walls. Here in Brazil you see not just heavy walls, but very hard security in homes and even in buildings, because Brazil is a bit more dangerous to live than United States. As you can see, we have statistics here in Brazil are not very reliable, but the official statistics here is between 50 and 60,000 murders by year, but we cannot trust that really much, because in fact 2,100 people disappear in Brazil every year, and much of that are killed and the body is never found, and this won't count on murder statistics. From these 200,000 people, it's hard to talk about that, because numbers in Brazil you cannot trust very much. Like people who get shot on the streets by a robber, and if the person gets killed in the place it was shot, he counts as a murder. But if the person arrives alive at the hospital and dies at the hospital, to decrease the criminal statistics, the government forces the doctors to put it as a natural death, because the person died of a heart failure. Of course, the heart failed because of lack of blood, because the person lost blood, but the person did not die by the shot, but because the heart stopped it. So of course it's a natural death, and that's why our statistics are not very reliable. But yet we have between 50 and 60,000 murders by year officially, but of course, as you can see, it's much more than that. Just the 200,000 people that disappear, much of that are killed in many ways. Like if you are driving and you lost your way and you go to some place that is dominated by drug dealers, and you go with your car in that place, it's very usual here in Brazil, the drug dealers will shoot you thinking you are a policeman, and nobody cares, because I don't know if 10% of murders are solved here. That's why we have so many murders, because it's very hard to a murder be convicted here, because they are never found, because our police is, like everything in Brazil, it doesn't work very well. But at least we have everything you want in United States, we have here. We have some problems you don't have in United States, but everything you want in United States we have here. That's the healthcare and the guns banned for people who obey the law. And so I invite you to come here. Don't forget, always have some money with you, so if some robber comes to steal, you have at least a little money to the robber, because if you don't have some money to the robber, he will be mad with you and he will kill you. So always have some money, and never tells anybody you are American. They will see, even if you speak Portuguese, if you learn Portuguese, everybody will see by your talk that you are not Brazilian, that you are foreign. And never say to nobody you are American, because if you say you are American, probably won't last long, because people hate Americans. Many people hate Americans, especially the leftists here that blame the United States for all the problems of the world and all the Brazilian problems. And especially if you are white people are blamed for everything, even here in Brazil. But we have some kind of 40 to 50% of white population, and few blacks, you believe. I saw 13% of American population is black. It's curious because the image we have from United States is what we see on the Hollywood movies, and by the Hollywood movies we think there are a much bigger population of black Americans, and it's only 13%, yet it's more than Brazilian black population, that's just 7%. The biggest population in Brazil is the mixed race population. So liberal Americans will love Brazil because we have the biggest mixed population in the world. About 50% of Brazilian population is mixed race. It was not always this way. Some decades ago, a century ago, the white population was much bigger in Brazil, but the mixed and the blacks have much more children than the whites since the cultural revolution, cultural Marxism and feminism. It reduced much the white population that today have much less children than the mixed. So today we have about 50% of mixed population. So Brazil is the dream of all American liberals come true. So we are welcome you here in Brazil. You can help to solve a lot of problems we have in Brazil, and you are very welcome here if Donald Trump arises to be president of the United States. But only come if you are real strong liberal, if you are really strong and real strong-minded liberal, because if you are not so strong, if you are a young person and you come to Brazil and meet the reality of cultural Marxism and leftist and liberal agenda here in Brazil, it's danger that instead of showing the paradise that Brazil is to Americans by internet, it's a little danger that you don't like much what we find here. I don't know what media tells you about Brazil, but if you don't like very much what you will face here in Brazil, it's a little danger that you come back to the United States and become a David Duke supporter, and you will be a strong supporter of Donald Trump, because we have some problems here in Brazil, but at least we have everything you like, everything you want for the United States. We don't have guns, at least the people who obey the law. Of course, it doesn't help much, and that's why we have some security problems, but at least we will be glad here. So you are welcome to Brazil. Liberal Americans, hope you like it, but be careful since you arrive here.